All right. So, jom, let's start with the first question. Right. So, we are going to do revision on circular measurement, index number, and also coordinate geometry. So, before we even begin, let me just record this meeting for our friends yang tak boleh nak join our class today. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. Here it shows that you have a semicircle with center O, and it is given that the arc length PQ, all right, this is PQ is equivalent to 9 centimeter, and the perimeter POQ is equivalent to 19 centimeter, all right. So this is 9 centimeter, the arc is 9 centimeter, the total perimeter, which is just PO plus OQ plus PQ is equivalent to 19 centimeter. So we know that PO and OQ have the same length, right? PO and OQ have the same length because they are the radius. So we can say that PO plus OQ is just equivalent to the radius. So now we have two radius plus with 9 is equivalent to 19. So 2R is equivalent to 10 centimeter and the radius will be equivalent to 5 centimeter. So here the radius is 5 centimeters. This is also 5 centimeters. So what are we supposed to find now? We are supposed to find the theta. So we can find the theta by using the formula S equivalent to R theta. The reason why we use S equivalent to R theta is because we know the perimeter is 9 centimeter. So 9 is equivalent to our radius, which is 5 times theta. So our theta will just be 9 divided by 5. So you guys have to change it into you guys have to change it into decimal. All right. So 9 divided by 5. Okay, 9 divided by 5, you guys should get 1.8. All right. Theta is equivalent to 1.8. Right. Now let's have a look at the perimeter sector QOR. So the perimeter sector QOR is just equivalent to S equivalent to R theta, and also adding OQ and OR together. Betul tak? Tapi sekarang ni kita tak tahu the angle. Okay, we don't know the angle QOR. So we can find the angle QOR actually. We know that a full circle have an angle of 2 pi, right? A full circle ada 2 pi. But then for a half circle, it will only be pi. Betul tak? The angle will be pi. So what we can do over here to find the angle QOR, we can take 3.142, which is just pi, minus with 1.8, right? So pi minus 1.8, right? You have to substitute 3.142 in here, minus with 1.8. You guys should get 1.342, right? 1.342, right? Okay. Now you are done with the first question. Now we can find the perimeter sector QOR. So to find the perimeter sector QOR, we have to know the radius, which we already know is 5 centimeter. And we can also find our perimeter. So perimeter is QR is equivalent to R theta. So our R is 5 and our theta is 1.342. Now we can calculate this. And we can get 6.71 centimeter for the perimeter. Sorry, for the arc. All right, the for QR. QR is equivalent to 6.71. And now we can find the perimeter. Perimeter is just equivalent to the OQ. OQ plus OR is plus QR. Okay. So 5 plus 5 plus with 6.71. So 5 plus 5 plus 6.71, we would get 16.71 centimeter. Okay. All right, settle for the first question. Habis. Now, we enter the second question. All right. The coordinate of point A and B are x1, y1 and x2, y2 respectively. Okay. Pxy is a point which divides line segment AB in the ratio of mn. Okay, the ratio of mn. So with the guide of the above diagram, the coordinates of point Pxy, which divides the line segment joining points A x1 y1 and B x2 y2, is in the ratio m is to n. Is Pxy n x1 plus m x2 and y1 plus m y2, yada 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 lah. Now, what do they want us to find? The guide of the upper diagram, the column P. Okay. They want us to show. Hold on, I feel like the question is not finished. It be admits me a while for me to check the question. So what the question wants here, the coordinate of point A and B is a point which divides in So lah, that's the full question. Hold on. Kalau if that is the full question, then let me see. For some reason, I feel like the question belum habis lagi. Okay. Okay, let me see. I have no idea. So this question over here, I read dulu, even the answer pun dia kata lain. But supposedly there should be something lah over here. Dia patutnya ada jawapan ke apa, ada soalan lah. Tapi let's have a look at B pula. The above diagram shows that a straight line CDE, okay, you have a straight line CDE, and given that 3CD is equivalent to 4DE. So this is actually kind of simple, but dia dah bagi you the relationship over here. Dia bagi you that 3CD is equivalent to 4DE. Now what you can do over here is you can do, you can make a ratio out of it now. So you can do something like this. CD is equivalent to 4DE. You divide DE. Okay. So now you get 3CD divided by DE is equivalent to 4. You bawa the 3 to the opposite side, so you will get 4 over 3. Okay, so this is telling us that CD is to DE is equivalent to 4 is to 3. Okay, so what this is trying to tell you is that the ratio of CD to DE is just 4 by 3. So this is 4, this is 3. Okay. Now they ask us to find the value of H and of K. So you know that D is 0, negative 2. Betul tak? D is equivalent to 0, negative 2 because you can read from the diagram. So apa yang you boleh buat sekarang ni is you can apply this formula over here. Okay, this is the function of the formula lah. The formula ni, teacher panggil dia sebagai the butterfly formula or the butterfly method. Why? Because we have 2 points, all right? First point and also second point. And there is a point in between the 2 points. And the point in between these 2 points, they have ratio, all right? There's a ratio between the distance of the 2 points. So kita boleh apply this butterfly method. The condition for you to use this butterfly method is that the point that you want to find must be in between 2 points, right? 2 different points. Okay, so you apply this formula over here. Okay, this formula, boleh ingat je the formula. So let's take the x coordinate first. So ada 0 kan kat sini. 0 is actually equivalent to, you ambil this 4, you multiply with this 4. Okay, 4 times 4. Alright, and then you ambil 3, you multiply with h plus 3h. Then you take both of the ratio, you tambah je the two ratios together. Okay, now if it is equivalent to negative 2, is equivalent to 1, you apply the same thing juga. 3 times 1, 3 times 1 plus 4k over with 4 plus 3, which is equivalent to 7. Now, simplifying these two, you can already get your answer for h, and you boleh dapat value for k. Senang je. Alright, this is one of the easiest formula that you can remember. Okay, remember, you guys have to memorize your formulas. Kalau tak hafal formula, susah. So, 16 is equivalent to 3h. H is equivalent to 16 divided by 3. Okay, H is equivalent to 16 divided by 3. 3H equivalent to 4, negative 16 over here. My bad. So H is equivalent to negative 16 over 3. And our K, simplifying this, 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. Equivalent to 3 plus 4K. Negative 11 is equivalent to 4k divided by 4 divided by 4. So your k is equivalent to negative 11 over 4. And does this make any sense? Yep. Alright, it makes sense. Why? Because h is negative 16 over 3, which is located here. Betul lah tu, because inside of this coordinate system, h is at the negative side of the x value. How about k? K is also negative, so this is trying to tell us that k is located at the lower side of the y axis, lower side of the x axis. So kira betul lah tu Okay, so kita dah ada A and also kita dah ada dah juga for B. Yeah, we are kind of done for this question. Alright, so we call this as the butterfly method. Kalau tak nak guna butterfly method, nama glamour dia, the other nama glamour dia is what we call as the wiper method. So it looks like a wiper tau. Sebab apa? You take the value, the ratio from the opposite, you multiply with the coordinates from the other side. Sama juga dekat sini, you ambil value ni, you pergi multiply dekat the other side of the point. So we call it as the wiper method. So this wiper method, you can easily memorize this. And for your information, this actually comes from your midpoint formula. Kalau kau ingat, we'll do a little bit of revision on midpoint. Ingat tak midpoint tu apa? Midpoint tu, let's say you have a line. Alright, it is when the ratio between point A and C, which is point B, is 1 by 1. Okay, bila ratio dia 1 by 1, masih yang kat tengah-tengah tu is you punya midpoint. Okay, so your midpoint punya formula is just, the formula is just, hold on, let me just write this thing down. Okay, x is equivalent to x1 plus x2 divided by 2. And y is equivalent to y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Kalau you lihat betul-betul, actually, you can apply the same concept dekat guna this formula juga and you will still get the same answer. Alright. So, we are done with the first question. Okay, we are done with the first question. Now, we can have a look at the second question. Alright, kita boleh tengok. Sorry, not the second question, but the third question. So far everyone okay? Everyone okay so far? I see dekat sini Aisyah dah masuk, Emily is also here, and also Megai is also here. Alright, good thing that you guys are here. Okay, so semua okay?
Okay, sir.
Alright, okay. All right. So we have done both question number one and also question number two. I'll give you guys some time to figure out question number three. I'll give you guys roughly around 5 minutes before we try to attempt this question together. Now, this is a paper two question. Alright, ni soalan paper two, and normally your paper two would look something like this. Alright, dia akan nampak lebih kurang macam ni. Okay, so why don't you guys go ahead and try this first? I'll give you guys up until 9:15 for you guys to do this, and then we will review this question together. Okay, try dulu buat sendiri. Kalau tak tahu, then we can discuss together afterwards. Okay? Alright. Okay, jom kita tengok. Did any of you guys manage to get the answer? Ada yang dah cuba, ada yang dah dapat jawapan. Okay. Sekejap ni. Tak ada. Kita semua macam lemah hari ni. Did you guys manage to do this question number 30? I think it's a fair one. Okay, anyways, I'm going to show you guys now. Okay, pay attention, yeah. So the diagram above shows a trapezium OPQR, and the line OP is perpendicular to the line PQ. Alright, so we know that this is 90 degrees to one another. So when something is 90 degrees with one another, we can say that this gradient and this gradient is related by M1, M2 is equivalent to -1. Okay, so that's one thing that you know. Apa lagi yang kita tahu? PEQ is a straight line. PEQ, where is PEQ? It's a straight line such that point E lies on the x-axis. So this is E. Okay, this is E because E lies on the x-axis. And it is given that the equation of OP is y equivalent to -3 or -2 over 3x. Good thing we already know what is M1 then. We already know what is M2 then. So the equation of PQ is 2y is equivalent to Tx minus 26. Now let us just divide this by 2 so that it is in the form of y equivalent to mx plus c. Okay, y equivalent to t over 2x minus 13. Now, as I have mentioned just now, equation of OP and equation of straight line of PQ can be related with the formula M1, M2 equivalent to -1. Okay, because both the two, they are perpendicular to one another, 90 degrees. So kita boleh guna gradient M1, M2 equivalent to -1. So we know that this is -2 over 3x. M1 is equivalent to -2 over 3. M2 is the thing that we want to find. Substituting, we will get M2 equivalent to 3 over 2. Okay. Now this M2 equivalent to 3 over 2 is also similar to this one inside of the equation of y equivalent to t over 2x minus 13, because y equivalent to mx plus c, so your m is your t over 2. So t over 2 is equivalent to 3 over 2, so your t is equivalent to 3. Settle t equivalent to 3. If you guys got the answer, then give yourself a round of applause. Okay, dah settle yang tu, we can find the coordinate of point P. Now, how do I find the coordinate of point P? Simple. If you have to find a coordinate, okay, x, y, you kena guna simultaneous equation. That's the only thing that you can do. Alright, but first you need to find yourself two equation. Dari mana nak dapat two equation tu? Dah tahu dah. You have OP and also you have the equation of straight line PQ. you dah tahu these two straight line equations, so you can equate both of them together to find x and to find y. Okay, faham Kalau you ada satu coordinate yang you kena cari and these two coordinates, they intersect one another, right? They are the lines that intersect one another, then you can simply use do simultaneous equation by using the two equations of straight line that is related to one another. Okay, so you have the y equivalent to negative 2 over 3x, and also you have y is equivalent to 3 over 2x minus 13. So this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2. Negative 2 over 3x equivalent to 3 over 2x minus 13. Multiply everything by 6. Okay, the reason why we multiply everything by 6 is to remove all the denominators. 3 kali 6 dapat 2. 2 kali negatif 2 dapat negatif 4x. 3 over 2 times 6, you would get 9. And negative 13 times 6, negative 78. Okay. So sekarang ni pindah sana, pindah ke sana. Then you will get 17, 8 over 13. You dapat 6. Then y is just negative 2 over 3 multiplied by 6. So your y is negative 2 over 3 times 6. You should get negative 4. So the coordinate of P is 6, negative 4. Okay? Simple je. Buat simultaneous equation and then you can get your answer. Now for B, given PE is to EQ equivalent to 2 to 1. Okay, good thing dia dah bagi you a ratio. So PE is 2, EQ is 1. So you don't know what is the coordinate of E. Actually, you do know what is the coordinate of E. Nanti I will show you how you can find the coordinate of E. The coordinate that you don't know is actually Q. Q yang you tak tahu. Now, first, see, dia suruh you cari the coordinate of Q, then baru dia suruh you cari the equation of the straight line QR. Okay, dia suruh you cari equation of straight line QR kat sini. Okay, so sekarang ni, we need to find the coordinate of Q. So, to find coordinate of Q, kita kena guna wiper method. Betul tak? Because we have 3 points, we have point P, kita ada point E and also point Q. Point E, kita tahu the coordinates, but we have to find the coordinates. Right? It is not something that you can obtain easily lah. But you know the coordinate of point P already. Point P is 6, negative 4. So, one coordinate, dah tahu dah the coordinates tu kan. So, now we have to find E pula. So, how do I find E? E lies on the x-axis. So, at the x-axis, y is equivalent to 0. Betul tak? Sini x-axis. So x-axis, y kosong. Okay. So you can use the equation of straight line PQ to get the value for E. Senang. So tadi the equation is 3 over 2x minus 13 kan. So when you substitute y is equivalent to 0, you can get the value for x. Okay. So 13 times 2 is 26 divided by 3. You should get x equivalent to 26 over 3. So your point E is just 26 over 3 and 0. Okay, E dah tahu dah. Now you can find the coordinate for Q. You kena guna wiper method. So 26 over 3 and this is 0. So 26 over 3 is equivalent to, alright, you take 2 multiply with x, 2x, then you take 1 multiply it with 6 plus 6 divided by 2 plus 1. Okay, and then 0 is equivalent to 2 times y1 plus with 1 times negative 4 and divided by 3. Okay, so calculating all of this, you should get sini you ganti dapat 3, betul tak? Dapat 3 kat sini. So bawah ni ada 3 boleh cancel. So 26 equivalent to 2x plus 6. 26 minus 6 is 20. So x is equivalent to 10. And then 2y, 0 is equivalent to 2y minus 4. 4y is equivalent to 2. Okay, so we already find the coordinate of q. Q is just 10, 2. Okay, dapat q 10, 2. Dah tahu q 10, 2. Now we have to find qr. So tadi kita dah tahu dah m1 dia punya gradient dia berapa kan, which is negative 2 over 3. You see this arrow over here, this arrow over here shows that this is parallel to one another. So the gradient or the steepness of PO is equivalent to the steepness of QR. So what we can do now is that we know that both of the two gradients are the same. So gradient of QR is just equivalent to negative 2 over 3. Betul tak? Gradient ni equivalent to negative 2 over 3. And you know what's the coordinate of Q already, which is just 10, 2. So you can find the equation of straight line by using y minus y1 equivalent to mx minus x1. So there's actually two equations for you to find the equation of straight line. Satu, you can use y equivalent to mx plus c. The other one, you can use y minus y1 equivalent to mx minus x1. So to use this formula, you will need to find two stuff. The first is you need to have a coordinate. So you can ada coordinate. So coordinate you yang x1, y1 tu. And number two, you kena tahu gradient. Baru you boleh guna this formula. Okay, normally I would use this formula more often compared to yang bawah ni. Yang bawah ni pula, dia leceh sikit. Okay, you kena tahu gradient. And also you kena tahu the y-intercept. Which normally diorang tak bagi you the y-intercept and you have to find it on your own. So how do you find the y-intercept? Now, to find y-intercept, your x must be equivalent to 0. So y-intercept x equivalent to 0. Then you solve for the value of y. You solve for y. Yeah, solve for y. Okay, senang. So sekarang ni kita nak cari the straight line equation kan. So move this to the opposite side so that we can do the math. Let me just resize this. So let's use a different color for this one. Y minus y1. So your y1 is equivalent to 2. Equivalent to your gradient. Your gradient would be equivalent to negative 2 over 3. X minus x1. X1 is 10. So y minus 2 equivalent to negative 2 over 3x plus 20 over 3. So y equivalent to negative 2 over 3x, 20 over 3 plus 2. 20 over 3 plus 2, you should get 26 over 3. And yep, we're done. Okay, y equivalent to negative 2 over 3x plus 26 over 3. So this is for apa, B2. B2, B1, A2, A1 mana? Ni A1. A1. Okay. So you guys can have a look at it and ask me question if you guys want to ask me anything lah. So coordinate geometry dia tak banyak formula, but you need to know how to use the formula lah. Formula ni sikit je, tak banyak. Tak banyak langsung. Hmm. Okay. So semua okay. Kalau semua okay, then kita tengok the next question. Alright, let's have a look at the next question. Question number 4. Now try to do this again yourself, then kita tengok balik. After this, we will look at a index number question, right? Something that you can do. More okay so far.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay, jom kita check this one. Now, question number 4, it shows the triangle ABC. So you are supposed to calculate the coordinate of point C. Now, the same thing applies macam what we have discussed just now. When we have a coordinate that we need to find, we need to identify two equations so that we can use simultaneous equation to get point C. So the two equations or the two lines, they must intercept at point C. So sekarang ni, we already have that. Okay, we have one straight line here, and we have another straight line here, and both of them intercepts at C. Now, what we can do is we can have this equation and this equation. Kita boleh combine these two, and kita boleh dapat two simultaneous equation lah. So here you have y equivalent to negative 8x minus 24, and then the other one you have y equivalent to negative 4 over 7x plus 40 over 7. Now, solving using simultaneous, okay, I just solve it using my calculator je. Alright, you should get simultaneous, you should get one, oh sorry, 1 plus 8, 1, 8, negative 24, 1, 4 over 7, 40 over 7. So your y should be equivalent to 8 and your x should be negative 4. Hopefully you guys get that lah. Negative 4 and 8. Okay, kalau dapat benda tu then it's good. Okay, mana yang lain lagi? Okay. So next, the straight line AB is extended to a point D. Alright. It is extended to a point D such that AB is to BD, AB to BD is 2 to 3. So you have a point 2 and then sini 3. Find the coordinates of B. So we know that B is at the X axis. So macam tadi kita dah kata kan, kalau you have the X axis, then you can make Y equivalent to 0. So Y equivalent to negative 8x minus 24. So at the X axis, X is equivalent to a value and Y is equivalent to 0. So 0 is negative 8x minus 24. So X is just equivalent to negative 3. So your coordinate for B would be negative 3, 0. So B is negative 3, 0 and A is 3, 4. Now you can find what is D. So to find D, you have to use the wiper punya formula. So wiper punya formula states that negative 3 is equivalent to 3 times with 3 plus 2 times with x1 over 5. Alright, so you solve for this, you should get 5 negative 15, negative 15 minus 9, you should get negative 24, negative 24 divided by 2, you should get x1 equivalent to negative 12. Alright, then you do the same thing for y. Y pula 0 is equivalent to 3 times 4 plus 2 times y1 divided by 5. So 12, negative 12, negative 6 equivalent to y1. Right, you can solve this on your own lah. 5 bawa ke sana and then bring this to the opposite side, then you divide by 2. Then you should get y1 equivalent to negative 6. So the coordinate of point D is equivalent to negative 12, negative 6. Okay, negative 12, negative 6. Then you are supposed to find the area of ACD. So to find the area of AC, ACD. Okay, ACD is this new triangle over here. Dia kata dekat sini, the ratio of triangle, then you have to calculate the ratio of triangle ABC to triangle ACD. Alright, whatever it is, we have to calculate ACD first. So to calculate area of ACD, we have to use the formula for area, 1/2. Then you letak modulus. So you start with 3, 4. Okay. Then you go with D. What is the coordinate of D? 12, -6. Okay. And then you ambil coordinate of C, -4, 8. Ni selalu orang lupa. Dia orang tak repeat balik yang the first coordinate. So you have to repeat back the first coordinate, which is 3, 4. Now, this times this, this times this, this times this, minus this times this, this times this, this times this. Okay. So it is equivalent to 1/2 bracket 3 times -6 plus 8 times -12 plus 4 times -4 tutup bracket minus with -12 times 4 plus -4 times 6 plus 3 times 8. Close your bracket, close your modulus sign. So 1/2 your modulus, okay, 3 times -6 plus 8 times -12 plus 4 times -4. You should get -130 minus dengan -12 times 4 is 48 plus, sorry, -48 minus with 24 plus 24. So ini -48. So half plus 48 ni, so di -130 plus 48 If 82, 1/2 multiply by 82, so you guys should get 41. Okay, dapat tak 41 unit square? Okay, kalau dapat bagus. Okay, dah cari 41 unit square. Lepas tu disuruh kita cari the ratio. Ratio of ABC to ACD. So ABC is 26 and ACD is 41. So 26 divided by 41 is just 26 divided by 41 lah. So ABC is to ACD. The ratio is 26 by 41. Okay, so this is your final answer. Okay, settle. Alright, last question C. Given point E -8, 1. Okay, where is point E? -8, 1 is midpoint of straight line CB. Okay, so E is somewhere around here. So, ini yang dia minta kita buat ni. So, point PXY move such that CPB is equivalent to 90. CPD equivalent to 90. CPD. Find the equation of the locus P. Wow. Okay, so how do we solve this problem? Dia nak kata apa tahu kat sini? Dekat dalam ni, dia ada point E. So, CPD. So, apa dia nak kata dekat sini is that there is a point P where this point P, dia punya angle is 90 degrees. So let me just draw you a 90 degrees. So it should be something like this. Ni P. Alright. So cuba you tengok betul-betul. What can you observe from the diagram that I've shown you? In order for this to be 90 degrees, the length of this has to be the same as the length of this. Okay, and so what we can observe is that kalau kita buat a straight line from E, point E will intercept the line P. Okay, dia macam ni lah. Okay, right, excuse my drawing. I hope you understand that PE is actually a straight line. So apa yang kita boleh cari kat sini? Apa maksud dia? What does that tells us? That tells us that you can find the perpendicular bisector. And once you find the perpendicular bisector, alright, you can get your answer already. Dah boleh tahu dah what is your answer. Okay. So this one is equation of locus P. Equation of locus P is just a straight line in the end. This is what it wants to tell you. So if it is a straight line, then you need to find the equation of straight line. So nak tahu equation of straight line, you kena tahu what's the equation of CD, what's the gradient of CD, then you kena cari guna M1, M2, then you cari the equation of straight line using coordinate of E. So that is what we are going to do. So sekarang kita nak cari dulu coordinate of CD. CD is just Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1 kan kat sini. So Y2 kita would be 8 minus with, what's D again? I think D is 8 minus negative 6 divided by negative 4 minus with negative 12. Betul tak? So sekarang ni kita kira dulu everything. 8 plus 6 divided by negative 4 plus 12, you should get 7 over 4. Dah cari M1. So you dah tahu what is the gradient over here. Now you kena cari M2. Okay. So this is also trying to tell you that this is 90 sebab benda ni straight 90 degrees. So M2 kita is equivalent to M1, M2 equivalent to negative 1. So M2 kita is equivalent to negative 4 over 7. So daripada situ, we can find Y minus Y1 equivalent to MX minus X1. So we can use the coordinate of E, negative 8, 1, for our reference coordinate. So Y minus with 1 equivalent to negative 4 over 7, X minus 8. So Y equivalent to negative 4 over 7X, negative 4 over 7 times with 8. So you get negative 32 over 7 plus 1. So negative 4 over 7 minus 32 over 7. So minus 32 over 7 plus 1, you should get negative 25 over 7. So that will be your final answer then. Habis dah. So this is your final answer and dah habis. This is how you do this question. Dia paper 2 ni, there's a lot of stuff that you need to look at lah. Right, so you have to look at so you guys have to look at like most of the macam questions. You guys have to analyze the question first, determine your steps that you need to do. Alright, semua dalam coordinate geometry ni dia step. But the first thing is that you should know all the coordinates. And normally kalau you dah tak tahu apa nak buat, cuba cari gradient. And dah cari gradient, you try to relate. Kalau benda tu ada 90 degrees, then you guna M1, M2, negative 1. Then M1, M2, negative 1, you try to do the equation of the straight line. You know, sometimes it requires you to do try and error. You cubalah buat this formula. Tapi yang penting, you need to know the coordinates and also you need to know what is the gradient. So after you dah cari the coordinate and the gradient, then you can do a lot more. You can do the equation, and then you can find the equation of normal, or you can do locus. Daripada situ you boleh buat macam-macam. Alright. So is there any question that you want to ask before we end our class? Ada apa-apa question? So tak ada Alright, so the remaining questions I will prepare sampai question number 10. You guys can do it as your homework. And later on in our next class, we shall discuss this question problem one more time again. So ada a few circular measurement question, index number, and also ada a few lah between circular measurement and also index number. So you guys try first to do, then later on nanti we will discuss together. So I think that's it lah for our class here. So thank you so much for attending the class. I'll see you guys this Saturday as usual. Okay, bye-bye and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.